guess it kind of happened organically. So it started off with this short film, Netflix. There was an idea to send in a script, and at that time I'd been away from hospice for about 4 years, and I remember thinking I was starting to get these feelings of wanting to naturally come back or do something, or I don't know. It's hard to explain the feeling of wanting to come back to somewhere that was such an impact on your life. And I remember sitting there one night, and it was just this kind of like, Derian House. What if we did a film for Derian House?
I remember the first visit when Paul and the team from Old Swan Films came, and they were like, "We want to make a film," and we were like, "Wow, that sounds really cool." And then in the back of my mind, the cynic in me was like, "We'll never have a film made about Derian House. Like, how will that even happen?"
My initial thoughts were absolutely no way in the world were we going to say yes to this. We'd had probably a couple of people in the past had approached about doing videos about Derian House, nothing on this scale, but smaller projects. And I'm so protective about Derian's brand and our reputation that I just would not trust anybody to come and tell the story of Derian. Paul came in to see us, and I remember I took him up to the meeting room, and we had a chat, and I remember he said something to me that really touched me that morning. He said it was the first time Paul had been back to the hospice since being here with Kalel, and he said, when I arrived at reception, I felt like I'd got to the airport and forgot my bags. I felt like there was something missing.
From that moment, we knew that the film would happen. I think knowing that Paul's passion was the driving force behind it, that made me know that there would be a film at the end of it.
And Paul, I remember he said to me, "I need to make this film." And after he'd said that to me, it was like a unspoken thing. I just thought, whatever happens, we're making this film, we're doing it.
To come back and sort of do this was it's a thank you. It was a thank you, because I've always wanted to do something. I didn't know whether it was a marathon. I didn't know whether it was climb a mountain, jump out of a plane, because you always do certain things. But for me, none of them felt like it was like a let's do it. But this did. This felt like I can make a documentary. I can do this.
Right, so we're looking down now.
I'm just gonna end board it first.
Okay,
and then
we'll
get you guys doing it all. Good luck. Okay, Richard, I'm about to end board it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. The little things. Lucy and Andrea interview 1B, roll E, end board. Come on. Count it up.
Okay, so yeah, so I'll count you in. So 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Perfect.
Is that a cut?
One take.
Yeah, that's cut, right?
Oh, hit it! Hit it! Splash, splash!
During the summer months when the film crew came, it wasn't just a project that one or two people were working on. Everyone in the hospice was involved in the little things, and from as little as maybe walking through the background with a mop or being interviewed by the team, it was a real buzz that I can't really describe. We had a film made at Derian House, and I don't think many people can say that about their place of work or their place of volunteering.
The way people have worked with us, the way people have connected instantly, they've just got it. The way that everyone was just fine. Everything was fine every day. It was, can we pop in the kitchen and film you cooking or making your scones? Yeah, of course you can. Can we go into the garden and greenhouse and watch you make? Yeah, of course you can. Can we come in the mess? Yes. It was just constantly just giving us opportunities to make this film incredible.
When we first saw the film, that was an amazing buzz. When it's won an award, when it got a really good review, and now the ultimate buzz is going to be that everybody in the world can now see it. It's almost mind-blowing that this is going to happen.
That in itself, again, is the story of the film, that everybody involved have given 100%. And they've just given us everything, from the crew, from the people in Derian House, from the contributors, the families, the staff, the volunteers. The fun day we had the police here. They were like, yeah, fine, film it, just go for it.
When filming was taking place here at the hospice, there was a real buzz. All the staff wanted to get involved. We put it on our social media. Everyone was interested. It just felt like there was energy in the hospice. There was something really good happening.
And I hope that's shone through on camera. I know it's shone through on camera, actually. I know it has. I've seen it. Believe it or not, I've seen this film. And it is incredible, because they do pour their heart out. And without having that empathy for these characters, we would have failed. But the fact that every one of these people can be related to you, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your dad, it could be your uncle, it could be any relative, your best friend, it could be anyone. You can relate to all of these people, and that for me is very special, that what we've created.
This, which is a device known as a tracheostomy, and a tracheostomy,
And then one like that. Maybe just a pattern.
Can I say about the team? I mean, what a special bunch of people. Again, me being the only person that had experience with a children's hospice, to then go to all of these individuals and go, would you work on this film? It's in a children's hospice. And they go like, yeah. Obviously they're a bit weirded out by it, and they needed to understand why. And then at that point, we obviously had hopes to raise, quite a bit of money to make sure we paid them. And there was a point where we weren't sure we'd make any money whatsoever. So we had to say to these guys that we brought on, would you still be okay to work on this film? We'll try and make sure we get you a donut here and there and a sandwich if we can. And every one of them was like, yeah.
The harsh realities of the film crew just setting up their own production company. We had the director Tom working nights at premiering, and then coming straight here with no sleep, crazy, bags under his eyes, and then taking naps in the family flat, where we walked in on him wearing a velvet eye mask. That was funny. That set the tone for the entire shoot.
Not many people in general can walk into a children's hospice and just work here. It does take superheroes to then come in and film these stories, and to be put into the midst of really, really hard situations and just get on with it is really special. I can't speak highly enough of them.
The sound man Richard once caught him dipping an egg mayo butty in strawberry yoghurt, which I thought was a delicacy of Liverpool. Turns out it's not. Just was hungry. Wanted sweet and sour. What am I talking about? What other bits?
I think for the rest of my filmmaking career, as friends, they will always be held in such a high regard for me. They're very special people, the whole team.
There were a few moments that just really stick out to me, where I think you captured something really, really special there. The first one, I think, was on the first day, where Layla came into our lives. She wasn't even supposed to be in the little things at all, and she just happened to be in for a short stay. So she got one of the nurses to plait her hair. She had this amazing French plait done, and then we went to see her in a bedroom later that morning.
And she basically, without any prompting whatsoever, she starts talking about the little things, essentially the film that's been in my head for the past year of wanting to make this film. And she's talking about all of these amazing things, and I'm like, yes, that's it. You're saying it perfectly. And she's 11 years old.
The answers she gave were so moving and so beautiful. And she's only a young girl, and I just had no idea that beforehand that she had such an awareness of Derian and what Derian is all about. And she said some really profound things. She said, about the differences people see in her, and she talked about how, you've got to be a little bit weird, because the weirder you are, the more wonderful you are. And I just thought, wow, you've got an absolutely beautiful attitude to life.
I will remember that for the rest of my life, you know, being introduced to this little girl who just spoke so beautifully, so intelligently, and she got it. She completely got everything that was in my brain, and I think that was just, oh, what a moment. Yeah, I'm so happy.
So when people watch The Little Things, I firstly hope that people will help to support their local children's hospice, because we don't near as much get enough funding as what we probably should. But I also hope that people's perceptions of the word hospice are changed. I really hope that people know and believe that they're not places to fear.
I would love for people to take away something more personal, and I would love for them to just have a little think about their own lives and what are their little things, what are the things that mean the most to them.
For me, I want people to watch this film and just feel more connected to the person sat next to them, or to a family member, or just go give someone a call that you haven't spoke to, drop them a message. Just think about how the people in our film have gone through the most nightmarish situations imaginable, and then they've gone on to do the most amazing things, whether that be run a marathon, whether it be jump out of a plane, whether it be raise over £100,000 for this place.
And I hope that they realise that they're a place where vital memories are made and where we make the most of every moment for the families in our care. And I think if people watch the film, they might be sad along the way, they might even laugh along the way, but I hope they take away from it just how special Derian House and children's hospices in general are.
That's a cut.
You take one roll each. Is that okay, Richard?
That was very soft.
Final question then. Do you think you have made Kyle proud?
Oh. I think he'd be. I think our son would be thrilled. I think he'd be. I think he'd see himself in this film, without a doubt. Yeah, because everything we wanted to achieve, every smile in the film, every beautiful moment cinematically, whether it be the opening of the birds flying across the sky, whether it be the garden, the bees on the flowers, it's all him. Every bit of it is him for me, and I think he'd probably think it's silly. I think he'd laugh. I think he'd say that's silly, there's a film. Yeah, he'd probably just laugh at me and say, why have you made a film? But I think he'd be extremely proud, yeah.
I do too.